Hey everybody, it's Jenny, and today I have two products from the Juicy Couture collection. I picked up the Juicy Couture Oui palette. This palette retails for $38 on the Macy's website. It comes with 10 eyeshadows. They're all shimmer eyeshadows. It also comes with a blush and a highlight. In addition to the palette, I picked up the Juicy Couture Oui lipstick. This is a glitter lipstick. I picked up the shade Not Your Babe. It's a pink shade with gold glitter. This lipstick retails for $18 on the Macy's website. Let's go ahead and scooch you in closer and test out the products. So I've already primed my eyes and took off the adhesive that was on the mirror in the palette. Because this palette does not contain shimmer eyeshadow shades, I will need to go in with a matte from one of my other palettes to get started with the look. I'm going to go in with Tiki and Brûlée from the Pinky Rose Bright Lights palette for my crease. Now that I've created a crease, I am going to go in with Red Hot Rebel and put that on the outer portion of the lid and the inner portion of the lid to create a halo eye. So far, it's not too bad. I'm neither impressed with this shade nor unimpressed with it. It probably would look gorgeous foiled, but I tend to prefer to apply eyeshadows dry as opposed to foiling them. I only really foil them if I feel like I have to foil them. Yeah, these shadows are definitely not intensely metallic like some of the other shadows that are in my collection and that I tend to play with a lot. But so far, I'm not really having a problem with this shade. I'll go ahead and play with some of the other shades to see if they perform any better. The next shadow I'm trying out is Crimson Daydream. I'm going to put that in the center of my lid. The shade's pretty, but I can't say it's the best red shadow I've played with. I'm going to try and add a little bit more dimension to that look. I'm going into Penny Lane, and I'm going to layer that on top of the Crimson Daydream shade. It probably helps that I'm layering this shadow on top of other eyeshadows, since not a lot of it is getting on my brush, but the effect is exactly what I was hoping for, so I'm pretty happy. I'm going to go finish my base, and when I come back, we'll do the inner corner, lower lash line, as well as play with the blush, the glow, and the lipstick. For the lower lash line, I'm going into the shade Oui Glam. I can already tell this shade would work better with Fix Plus if applied all over the lid. Because I'm putting it on the lower lash line with a shader brush, it doesn't really need that. It's working pretty well, but just an FYI. For the inner corner, I'm going in with the shade Moonlit Whimsy. So both of these shades are more like glitter shades and just pressed eyeshadow shades. So if you wanted to use them all over the lid, I would definitely recommend using a glitter glow. Time to test out the blush shade and the highlight shade. This is the shade Oui Too Pink. I'm just going to use a generic little brush to dab that on my cheeks. It definitely has a pretty sheen. I'm just going to build it up a little bit more. It's a pretty color. I don't know if it's a color that I would normally gravitate towards with my blush. It's a little bit bright, but I do like the finish on it. Now that I have that intense blush going on, I'm going to dip into Oui Glow for some highlight. I'm feeling super glittery now. Now I'm going to test the lipstick, Not Your Babe. See if the glitter actually stays on the lips or not. Very curious to know. The color's pretty, but it really shows the lines on my lips. It's not very opaque, and the glitter looks like it just kind of fell on the lips. It doesn't look like I was intentionally attempting to put glitter. Kind of would have preferred if glitter was just not part of this lipstick in general. As for the texture, it is semi-moisturizing. It comes off a little bit matte, but it's not a very drying matte. So I do like that. Now that I'm feeling all glittery, let's get to some brush swatches of the eyeshadows, and I will give you my final thoughts. The first shade is Moonlight Whimsy. The next shade is Penny Lane. I would definitely recommend foiling that shade or using a glitter glue to intensify it. Next to that is the shade Dramatique. This is the shade Oui Glam. It's more of a glitter shade, so again, you'll want to have a glitter glue under it. This is the shade Crimson Daydream. Here we have the shade Rhythm and Blues. I have a feeling that shade would actually look rather pretty with a glitter glue. Maybe a little bit of Fix Plus. Here we have the shade Riot Starter. Here's the shade Pretty Hustle. I had a hard time getting that shade on my brush. Let me go over it one more time. It's certainly not as intense as it looks in the pan, not as dark. And it also has one of those satin finishes. Next we have the shadow Red Hot Rebel. Lastly, we have the shade Halfway Angel. You can definitely make all of these shades work. You're just going to need to put in a little bit more effort than you might otherwise need to put. Those are the shades. I think I need a little bit more time to play with this particular palette. I like the shadows, but I'm not in love with them. The shadows performed well, but I wasn't really impressed with the quality. I do think that I need to play with the glitters and use some glitter glue on the lid just to see how they look. But for the price, I think you're mostly paying for the Juicy Couture brand name more than anything else. The blush in here was nice. But again, I don't know if it really is a kind of blush that I would use on a day-to-day basis. As for the highlighter, it's glitter, so it makes me feel like a fairy, which I like, but it's not an everyday kind of highlight. And if you don't like glitter on your face, you're not gonna wanna use this highlighter at all. If you're interested in picking up this palette, it's available exclusively at Macy's. I had a little bit of a shipping problem, which I reported to Macy's. And so hopefully they'll fix their little shipping dilemma that they have going on. In the meantime, if this is available in stores and you're interested or curious, you like the look that I came up with, check it out and see if you can find it. As for the lipstick, since it's $18 and it really didn't work that great for me, there isn't any way I can recommend this lipstick at all. Maybe if you're a little bit younger than I am, like in your teens, early 20s, you'll like this. But if you have lines on your lips, this is just going to accentuate them. Therefore, I cannot recommend it. Hopefully this first impression helped you out a little bit. I was super excited to try these products and definitely disappointed in the performance of the lipstick because I was so looking forward to a glitter lipstick. But alas, you can't always get what you hope for. If you've tried anything from the Juicy Couture collection, just leave a comment down below and let me know what you like. As always, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Until next time, bye guys.